4 o'clock, Mothers Against Drunk Driving are speaking out after what they call a completely preventable crash claimed the lives of two Central Illinois men caused possibly by a drunk driver. According to Metro Nashville police, the crash happened just after 1 a.m. when a vehicle allegedly driven by a drunk driver failed to slow down for merging traffic, killing 45-year-old Bradley Parrott, the father of two Washington High School softball team players, and his father, 72-year-old William Parrott. As a result, the Mothers Against Drunk Driving organization has responded, saying that every crash is 100% preventable and that their mission is to end all drunk and drugged driving and support victims of these violent crimes.
Every crash is preventable, of course, by making the correct decision before you choose to drink, to choose not to drive afterwards. And unfortunately, whether it's your first time or your fifth time getting a DUI, none of those DUIs should have happened, right?
MADD says their victim services team reached out to the family of those killed, offering support during this devastating time.